Hi everyone, this is Luz from Vintage Faith Journals. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching, I would appreciate it if you subscribe and like this video, and then you check out my other videos that I have. I'm pretty new to this, so I would really appreciate the support, and I hope you like these journals that I'm going to be doing a flip through of. And I actually have 5 journals here. I'm not sure if I'm going to show them all in one video, but I'm going to try. So I have these 2 here, and after I do these 2, which are blank journals, then I'm going to try to do the flip through on these 3, and these are from a collection that I have, and these are the first 3 journals here from the Country Garden collection. So I wanted to show those real quick too. But I'm going to start with these 2. Okay, so they're both blank journals, meaning that there are no pockets or tuck spots. They're mainly for writing, and they have 100 pages each, and they measure 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. And all of these journals are available right now in my Zibit shop, and I'm going to leave that link in the box below. Okay, so this one is called Lilacs Cream. Okay, so it has little lilac touches here and there, and it's a soft cover. It's sewn onto cardstock, and I have a little bit of layering here on the cover. I have vintage music paper. I have some images from Edith Holden, and I have a little fabric flower, a little fabric rosette in the middle, and then these 2 bling pearl trims here. Okay, and up here it says memories. There's crochet trim on the spine, 1 signature pamphlet stitch, and an eyelet, and an organza ribbon. Okay, and I have digital papers here from 3 different people, and I'll just point out which ones are which. Okay, so then I have this pretty cardstock here in the inside cover, and it's textured, really nice feel to it. And then this is the first page. This is from That's Just Penny, from one of her kits, and she's on Etsy, on Facebook, and she also has a blog on Patreon, I think that's what it's called. So her name is That's Just Penny, and that's from one of her kits here. We have a doily here, coffee dye paper. So this is a lot of blank pages, but some of them are printed and very pretty images. Glassine bag. Each one of these 2 journals have 1 glassine bag and 1 vintage glassine envelope, so you have a little bit of storage space. Lined paper. This is a printable by Ephemera's Vintage Garden. It's a freebie. Edith Holden page. Lined paper. This is a page from Artie Mays' collage papers. That's a paper set that she has. This is also from Artie Mays, one of the background pages from that same set. Parchment paper. Parchment. This is from Antique Papery, this background page. This is from That's Just Penny. Okay. This is a printed ephemera. It's a receipt. This is from the old design shop. It's a freebie. And it's printed on parchment paper. This is vintage ledger paper. That's antique papery. Coffee dye paper. Vintage music paper. Lace coffee dye paper. And I buy this from a lovely woman. Her name is CJ Christopher, and she makes this pretty lace coffee dye papers. So if you want to check her out, you can let me know, and I'll give you her contact information. This is a Edith Holden page. Lined ledger paper. This is from Artie Mays. Lined papers. And this one here, oh, I forgot where I got this printable, but I did buy it. It's a set of papers from Etsy. So if you want to know, just let me know, and I will find out where I got that one from. Parchment paper, Artie Mays from her collage set. This is the middle signature. This is a background page from Artie Mays and a doily here. Coffee dyed. Edith Holden. Lace coffee dye paper. This is the vintage glassine envelope. And I got these from Creative Cafe Girl. She's also on YouTube here, and she's on Etsy. And I bought all my glassine envelopes and bags from her. I love them. And she has good prices, reasonable prices. Artie Mays page here. The other side of the glassine bag. Okay, and that's the back. That's from That's Just Penny. All right. Okay, and the next one is also similar, but I use digital papers just from the antique papery. So like I mentioned before, it also measures 5.5 by 8.5 and has 100 pages. This one this is a flour sack fabric. It's like a thick gauze, really nice, and it's shabby. I made it shabby. All right, and this is cardstock, also sewed onto another piece of cardstock. This is a mulberry paper flower, and it's pretty stiff, so it doesn't get crushed or wrinkled or anything like that. So I also have a collage on this with the vintage music paper, paper from Edith Holden here, and this image, I think that's also from Artie Mays. Okay, and I have trim on the top and the bottom, little pearls and acrylic little flowers, and it says memories here at the bottom. And that's the back there. And eyelet closure with the the organza ribbon that has little white polka dots. Alright, so this first page here, this is from the Antique Paperie, one of her collections. And it says Sweetheart up here. And this set is The Dreamer. That's the name of the papers of the set. And the name that I gave this journal is Pink Dreamer because it has a lot of pink in it, obviously. So that's why. Okay. Coffee dyed paper. Mace coffee dyed. I'm trying to set. Glassine bag. Parchment paper, vintage ledger paper. So as you see, it's basically the same types of paper. There's a few differences. This is a printable of a poem about children, and this is also from the old design shop, free printable. The pink lined paper, that's a printable from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Edith Holden page, vintage music page. This is a printable of handwriting lesson, and it's a copy of a vintage handwriting lesson paper. And I know that was a free printable, and I'm not sure, it may have been the old design shop maybe. I'm not sure about it, I have to find out. This is lined paper here, Edith Holden. Ephemera, free printable also. That's the middle of the signature. Okay, this is also from a paper set from someone else. I have to get her name as well. Oh, I wish I would have remembered to write it down. This is a paper set that she has. I have to look her up. Well, I love this middle signature with the heart doily. It's just so sweet and pink. I love pink. Okay, pink lined paper. The other side of that advertisement. Vintage glassine envelope. The other side of the children's poem. Other side of the bag. Okay, and that's the end of this one. And this is Pink Dreamer. And the other one was Lilacs and Cream. And now I'm going to show you the ones from the Country Garden collection. Okay. Alright, so I have the first three here. Okay, this is 1, 2, and 3. All right, and they're also similar in that the pages, the type of pages I used, but of course there's also differences. Each one is one of a kind, and I'm gonna have 7 in the collection, 7 of the journals. So I'm working on 4 more, and they should be done within a week. All right, so as you can see, it's tall and slim, and I love the size. It's so different. And this cover here, it's from a vintage garden book, and I love the pages because they're like magazine pages, as you can see, but they're a lot thicker. And I still backed it on to cardstock to give it extra strength, so it's very, very sturdy. So I have it wrapped in sari silk ribbon. All right, so here I have a piece of fabric with the word journal stitched onto there on cardstock. And I have a little charm here of a dragonfly. And then I have the same fabric on the spine. Okay, and that is the back. And I also love, I think this is so cool, that on the side here it gives a description of the flower, and you can read it. So I didn't put the fabric, I didn't glue it down all the way, so that you can move this and you can read about the corresponding flower or fruit in this case, because these are grapes. And I'm hoping this glare is not too bad, and that you can see everything. And then here as well you have the descriptions. Okay, let me get going. All right, so this is scrapbook paper. No, this is a printable here. It is a printable, this one. And then I have a piece of fabric along the inside of the spine to also give it extra strength. And it is parchment paper, the pink lined paper, and it has a scripture at the bottom. And I like to start out most of my journals with this scripture here, because I just love it. And it says, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And that's Psalm 118:24. Coffee dyed lined paper. This is the lace coffee dye paper. This is an Edith Holden page here, and I put a pocket on it. I have stitching around a lot of the elements in here. And these 2 pieces, the pocket and the journaling card, is from Nevermore Creations, from one of her kits. And I believe it's called Roses and Wisteria, the name of the kit. And then I have a stamp on the journaling card, find beauty in the simple things. This is green lined paper. Also free from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, from her blog. Vintage, a poem book. Here's a paper. This is from another gardening book, Better Homes and Gardens, vintage. Little yellow envelope. I stamped All Things Grow Better with Love. And it just has a little extra piece of paper there. Ledger paper. Parchment. And here I have a side tuck. This is also the same fabric that I use for the spine in the front of the journal. Right, and then I have this one here. This is really to be used as a pocket, but this time I use it as a journaling card. And it's backed with coffee dye paper stitched onto it. This is from the same book that the cover is from, Country Garden. This is from also a little poem book about flowers, about gardens, and it just has the prettiest little poems and quotes. And paper. This is from coloring page from an adult coloring book. Pink line paper. This is from a vintage children's book. Paddington the Bear. And of course it's about gardening. Parchment paper. This is a little tuck spot and a little tag, also from Nevermore Creations. And she's also on Etsy and on Facebook. And she's Lindsay Zanor here on YouTube. This is a page from the same country gardening book. The middle signature here, beautiful. Parchment. Tuck spot. And vintage glassine envelope with a journaling card by Nevermore Creations. Backed with coffee dye paper. The other side of the children's book page. Look how cute. The gardening poem book. Glassine bag with a tag here. With a sari silk loop on the tops. Stitched on and backed with coffee dye paper. And then it's stamping on the bag. Find beauty in the simple things. Side tuck here. Coffee dye paper, extra paper. More parchment, ledger, stamping up here. My second favorite scripture. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139:14. The other side of the bag, a little yellow bag with another piece of extra writing paper. That's from the Better Homes and Gardens book. Tuck spot here. Pocket, I mean. The other side of the poem book. Edith Holden. Lace coffee dye paper. This is a flip out. This was part of a greeting card. And right in there. And the lace coffee dye paper. I just love these designs on the paper. Parchment, and then this is a little craft paper envelope. And I have some journaling cards here. And there's 4 beautiful images here. Okay, so they do fit well in here. It's just that I'm doing it upside down. And so here the back is also lined in the same type of paper there. Okay, and again, that's the back of that one. Okay, this is the second one. Actually, this is number 2. This one right here. This bright and beautiful one. All right, so I'm not sure if I said the measurements. It's 4.5 wide by 9 3/4 long. And it's 100 pages. Each one of them have 100 pages. And a sari silk closure. This one has a two-tone here. So pretty. I have a bowl pin here with a dragonfly. And then fabric here. And the word journal. And then this pretty ribbon trim here. That's lace and ribbon on the spine. And that is the back. All right, inside cover. This is scrapbook paper. And this is backed with cardstock. So this scrapbook paper is actually cardstock. And there's scripture here at the bottom. This is parchment paper again. They're just similar. I'm just going to go through it quickly. There's different images from Edith Holden. This is purple, just regular paper. It's like copy paper, a little bit thicker. Stamping on the top, lace coffee dye paper, parchment, ledger, little bag here, pretty bag. Creative Cafe Girl. Her name is Susie, and she sent me this with an order. She sent me a few of these pretty envelopes as freebies. I just love them. A children's book of Paddington Bear, adult coloring book page, vintage gardening page, more purple paper, vintage music paper, tuck spot here, scrapbook paper, journaling card, and a tag. And a vintage poem book. It says A Whiff of Lilacs. What's the name of that little poem? Parchment paper, glassine bag stamped here, and a journaling card, and a little piece of fabric on the top. And that's the middle of this signature. It says Islands of Color. Tuck spot and the vintage envelope with the journaling card with a little birdhouse there. Tuck spot, journaling card. Tuck spot, fabric tuck spot. Another piece of the lace coffee dye paper. Other side of the bag. Pocket with 2 journaling cards. Edith Holden page. flip out. This is also part of a greeting card. All right, and it says, also has the scripture on the top. And that's the back, which it has the same little envelope, little policy envelope. It also has four journaling cards, and of course they're different. Beautiful images. Oops, I have to fix this. It's easily fixable. I'll fix it when I'm done. Alright, and this is the last one. This is number 3. And again, sorry silk closure, bowl pin with a little charm, little pink flower. And it has the fabric on the top, the word journal stitched on there. Oops, out of frame. The fabric on the side. And that is the back. Scrapbook paper, cardstock, same types of paper. Native holding. Pink little bag with a really small mason jar tag. Side tuck. This is pink lace dyed paper. Also from C.J. Christopher. The glassine envelope with a tag. The pocket with a journaling card. The inside, the middle of the signature. Tuck spot with glassine envelope with this nice little bench there in the garden. Side tuck fabric with 2 journaling cards. Chairs in the garden. Pocket again with the envelope with the journaling card in it. The other side of the pink bag with a little piece of extra paper. Use the holding. flip out. This is a note card, stamping on the top, and that's the back. And again, the envelope here with the 4 journaling cards. I'm not going to take these out. They're similar to the other ones I just showed you. Okay, and that's the back of this one. And that's it for now. I'll have 4 more, like I said. It's going to be a set of 7 in this collection. Right, I hope you enjoyed this flip through, and that you'll go to my shop, unzip it, and check out all the other journals that I have for sale. Thank you very much, and you have a great evening. Bye-bye.